Okay, so in some ways, I think as we look at our culture today, we look at what's going on in the world today, and someone says, these are signs of the times. They say, oh, give me a break. I've heard that before. They've been saying Jesus is coming forever and nothing has really changed. No, actually, a lot of things have changed. I believe we're living in the last days. And then there's the emergence of China. Make no mistake about it, not only is China an economic superpower, they are now a military superpower as well. And they're becoming more aggressive and will be even more so in the future. You can count on that. They just launched massive Navy drills with 40 warships in the South China Sea. So add to Russia and China, these rogue nations now like Iran and North Korea threatening the world. Then there's the ongoing threat of Islamic terrorism. And there's all these advances in technology that are not being used for good things. Everything we do is recorded. Now, we've always known that, but I think we become more aware of this, especially in light of the fact that Facebook reported the data of 87 million people improperly shared. We realize people can get into our information, hack our information, and someone with sinister motives could use that for some very bad things. And one day that person will come on the scene. He's known as the Antichrist. Then there's the weaponization of space. Many of China's space capabilities are designed to counter U.S. military advantages, and that's why our country recently launched a space war center to counter threats from space that has been militarized by nations like China and Russia. We are literally headed to Star Wars in a very technical sense. Maybe this is why the famous doomsday clock was moved forward in January of this year. And because of all of these threats and new developments, they say it's now 2 minutes to midnight. The closest it's ever been. In other words, this group of atomic scientists are saying because of the level of threat and recent developments, we're 2 minutes till an all-out nuclear exchange. So that's not theologians saying it, that's atomic scientists saying it. And then there's the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. So we scratch our head and we say, what in the world is going on? Ready for the answer? We're racing toward Armageddon. It's like everything is being sped up, moving rapidly toward what the Bible calls the end of days or the last days. Jesus compared it to labor pains. And you girls know who've had children that as you got closer to the moment of delivery, your labor pains got closer together, right? And Jesus said that's how it would be in the end times. There would be these warnings, these things that would remind us it's coming. But as we got closer to the actual unfolding of prophetic events, these labor pains or these warning signs would get closer and closer together. And I think we're seeing that happen before us right now. So what are we supposed to do? Remember, Jesus said, when you see these things begin to happen, freak out. Right? Have you read that verse? Yeah, I haven't either. He said, when you see these things begin to happen, do what? Look up. Look up, for your redemption is drawing near. What does that mean? It means look to heaven and be reminded of this, that God is in control. And because of this, we need to know what is happening in our world. This is also called eschatology, the study of end times events. Some would say, well, you really can't understand all of that. It's far too complex. I could not disagree more. In fact, Jesus said, when you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, and we'll define what that is later, he says, let the reader understand. Isn't it interesting? So he's talking about a prophetic event that is still in the future, and Jesus says, let the reader understand. Why would it say that if I couldn't understand it? And what does the word revelation mean? It means unveiling. The unveiling. So it is God's desire to reveal, not to conceal. It's to put in plain view, not to hide from us. So we don't have to be afraid of this topic. And in addition, there is a special blessing in Revelation promised to the person who reads the things in the book, hears the things that are in the book and keeps the things that are in the book. It says, blessed is he who reads and hears the words of this prophecy and keeps the things in it, because the time is near. And I think what is true of studying Revelation is also true of studying Bible prophecy in general.